And I'd like to welcome you all to our Lunch Club Travel Edition, where today we'll be taking a trip to the Bahamas for the last session of our Islands Month presentations. Lou, thanks once again for presenting today's session. I hope you all learned something new. And Lou, the floor is yours. Once again, thanks so much for presenting our session today.
Oh, thanks, Alexander. Great job putting the slides together. I'm so excited to have so many folks attending. I've never been to the Bahamas, and I'm learning so much about our world by just hosting these programs. And what a wonderful thing that has been. Just a real quick public service announcement. One of the things that WildTech announced at the DACO conference, it happens once a year when all their grantees get together, is we're going to begin programs in partnership with some of the senior service providers leading face-to-face digital literacy training sessions. And this is really on any device. It could be on a Windows laptop, it could be on a mobile phone, and of course, it could be on an iPad. So you may hear about that from some of the senior service providers in the district, the Ionas and so many of the other great ones east of the river. It's not our program, it's their program. So they would have to invite you. But don't be surprised if you get an invitation from them featuring WildTech, your host, Alexander Bell, as the teacher. All right, let's get into it. Alexander, I may need your help. I noticed there's lots of tremendous embedded materials. So just guide me when you can. So here we go. Just a moment. Oh, wow, this has changed a little bit. Just a moment. Okay, let's try again. Great. Okay, so hopefully you all see this. And Alex, great job with the rolling photos. So here we are in the Bahamas. Does everybody know where the Bahamas are? Or before I start, has anybody on this call been to the Bahamas before?
I have a couple of times.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
I've been.
Yeah, I've been.
It's
Oh,
beautiful.
where'd you go in the Bahamas?
I've been.
I don't remember where I went.
Wherever the boat docked.
Mhm.
Well, there's a lot of islands out there to enjoy, that's for sure. Well, let's acquaint the others. Maybe you can point out the islands that you're at if the map will jar your memory a bit. So
Okay.
here we go. So our agenda is, where are the Bahamas? We'll talk a bit about the history, culture, and some fun facts. And then, of course, we conclude with our trivia. So here we go. So where exactly are the Bahamas? Now, Alexander, I think this takes me to, do you want to start with the DACL, starting off at DACL?
Go to the next slide, Lou.
Yeah. So let's look at some flights to get to the Bahamas. But before we do that, if you don't mind,
we have to learn how to get there first, right? So Lou, check out the flights.
Oh yeah, no, I saw that, but let me just jump into this one first so we can just sort of see where it is. And Alex, I love how you embedded where we normally start, right here at the Department of Aging and Community Living. And we'll walk over there to Union Station. And we know we got to get to an airport. But Bahamas is a popular place, and you're going to see that in the next slide. So I'm sure there's some flights out of Reagan Airport, and you're going to see that in the next slide. Here's Reagan Airport, whole lot easier to get to than way out in Dulles and way up in Baltimore, BWI. Those are our three main airports. But we can catch some flights, I'm sure, right out of Reagan National Airport. Okay, so let's check that out. Alex did a tremendous job cataloging what the flights are.
Yeah, I thought I did this last week where we started with the flights because we may not know where to go. So if you tap on the first one, you see the arrow to the right of the first departing flight. It says
yes.
When you see the arrow, tap on the little arrow next to it.
Arrow, first departing flight.
Look to where it says 324. Hit the arrow.
Hold on.
To the right.
It might be covered by. No, it's not.
It's not covered. Look next to 324. Look at the arrow to the right of it.
next to 324. Oh, this one you're saying. Okay.
That's Lou. Yes, tap on it, and it actually tells you how.
Oh, nice. Good
So that's
job,
so that's why
Alexander.
we, I did this first last week because we didn't know how to get to Sri Lanka because it may be a layover, it may be different from the other airport, Reagan, BWI. We may start off a different one. So I thought it would be good to look on how to get there, then actually use the map and kind of map the journey out, you know?
Nice, nice. Yeah, there's so many airport choices. So that's a Reagan National Airport. So that's one way, and we already know where that is.
Yeah, and it's just one flight. There's no layover or anything. It's just a 2.5 hour flight. And you see how cheap it is for round trip? It's really good.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty good.
Uh,
But you know what, Alexander, I think that Spirit or some of those discount JetBlues are even cheaper.
Mhm.
And sometimes those aren't listed in some of these things, but maybe we can check later on. I know you can get to Puerto Rico, which is a whole lot farther than Bahamas, for $79 on Spirit Airlines.
I saw
Okay.
for Orlando, when I looked up the other places, Orlando is really cheap. It's like $80 or something.
Yep. And I recently took a trip to Miami for $29. $29 on
Wow.
yeah, on Spirit Airlines. All right. So here we go. So let's check some other ones, Alex. Is that okay? Let's see. Let's check some of the other carrots. So these are, ooh, look at these are leaving out of Reagan, connecting in Miami, and then going to Linden Pindling Airport. So NAS stands for what? Nassau, I bet.
Nassau.
Mhm. Yeah, I heard a couple of you all say that you've been, so I'm glad that you all know that most of them do, or the cheapest flights for Bahamas are go to Nassau. The other ones cost maybe 100, maybe $200 more for some of the other islands in the Bahamas.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
now I've always pronounced it Nassau. What's for those who've
Nass
been there?
Nassau.
NASA, like the space agency almost.
Yeah, Nassau.
And then here's another one, connects through Atlanta. So great job on this, Alex. And they're all landing in Nassau. So this is exciting. We get a little bit of reconnaissance before we jump on the flight.
Yeah, you'll be able to tinker with it, but you can adjust the destination. I just put NASA because that was the most popular one, so you can check other ones as well.
So there's other flights to other islands on the Bahamas.
Yeah, anywhere you can you can look at any destination.
Okay, so now we went to look at the map. Let's jump back at that map real quick, and we will go take that flight out of Reagan Airport now. That's for sure. So let's jump on that flight out of Reagan.
I guess the advantage of the layover is that you might be able to explore that area before you go to the next location. Is that right?
Yeah, if the layover's long enough, that it's a way of getting a free trip. Miami is an interesting place to lay over, and the airport's a little bit out of town, but if it's a long enough layover, you can get in town. So we're going to take off out of Reagan Airport, and we're going to gain some altitude, and we're going to head south. So let me know, folks, when you see where we're going. Anybody see Bahamas anywhere?
Right there. Right
I see
there.
mine right there, right there.
Right
Yeah.
there at Miami.
Well, that's why the layover is there, so that's why it makes sense.
And now look at all the islands that make up the Bahamas. You got the islands up
Mm-hmm.
here. I think Nassau is this little dinky one over here. Uh, let's see which it is. Okay, it's this little dinky one right here. And then you have a big, huge, I think is this Grand Bahama Island? There's a big island there. And then you get out here. Here's Freeport. That's a famous Bahamas spot.
Yeah, that's a famous one too.
And then you have Marsh Harbor over here. I want to do something diverge just for a moment because we're on the map here. So I used to do hurricane recovery for the national headquarters of the Red Cross, and the worst hurricane I have ever seen on our planet hit the Bahamas in 2019. Does anybody remember that? 2019. So it hit the Bahamas, and it was a Category 5 hurricane, Category 5 hurricane, and it parked over Marsh Harbor right here for like 24 hours, blowing 165-mile-an-hour winds. Now, folks, that happened 6 years ago. 6 years ago. So the Bahamas is not the United States. They don't recover quite as well from a disaster as the United States. So let's see what Bahamas looks like today, Marsh Harbor. This was a tropical paradise. And I'm going to go street view and let's see what it looks like today. What do you think?
Still not recovered.
Does that look recovered to you?
No.
This happened 5-6 years ago. And here's a walking down the streets of Marsh Harbor today. Unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that hurricane, it looks like a hurricane hit yesterday, didn't it?
Mhm.
It may have actually leveled this community. People may have actually abandoned the community because it was so bad.
Wow.
So when these hurricanes hit these islands, especially ones, I mean, the Bahamas was a British colony for a while. I'm sure you'll learn about that. They don't have a lot of money to recover from disaster. And there's a common word in disasters, how these fragile economies, really, really suffer tremendously when these natural disasters hit, because they don't have a FEMA, they don't have a big government with big money behind them. Can you imagine this, having this been in your house, your home? Unbelievable. And this was a tropical paradise. And this picture was just from this year. This disaster took place 6 years ago. All right, enough of that. So Alex, feel free to guide me. So I guess we go to the official website. Oh, look at all these great resources we have here, folks. When you go on to international websites, most international laws require you to consent to the cookies that they load on your computers. Because this website's hosted in a foreign country, you'll see that. It'd be nice if the US had that kind of law, right? But our IT companies have too much power in this country, and we don't have those kind of warnings. So look at all these islands. Alex, should I go through some of these things here?
Scroll down the page. Just scroll down the page. This is the beginning. You can look through some experiences, but just scroll down. You'll see some general information.
Well, that's some nice swimming out there, isn't it, folks? Wow, look at that famous swimming pig.
The Bahamas, essentially, they have an official website. I mean, who knew? So,
Yeah. I wonder, does every country have one? Does the United States have one?
they probably do. I mean, it's just about, this is very, they're very much selling the country on this on the site. I mean, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, and I like the way they have everything set up. So I thought it would be nice to look at together.
So look at all the islands it's made
Look,
up of.
getting here, isn't that image cool? They even show you the amount of time it takes for you to get to the Bahamas from London, 9 hours, New York, 3 hours, Miami, just 1 hour. That's an interesting
Nice.
visual.
All righty, very good. Very nicely designed website. Makes me for sure want to go. So let's go back and continue on. So let's learn a little bit about the history, the culture, and some other things. I think we have, let's see, let's just click on this, I guess. So a little bit about the Bahamas. Oh, this is interesting. So this is a National Geographic site, Alex?
Yes, similar to the one for the Madagascar one we did. So yeah, they have captions for each image.
So let's see if I can capture the caption. Oh, so it's a scroll. I can scroll down.
Yes, Lou, if you go on the image, you see the captions right underneath it. You can go on the image and then use the arrow to look through.
Okay. So yeah, so this is certainly a lot of skin diving, scuba diving. Oh, the government house. Well, that looks interesting. Looks like it has some British influence. Oh, and I didn't know they had flamingos. It's actually the world's largest colony of pink flamingos. Never knew that. I thought flamingos were mainly in Africa.
They're beautiful too.
Yes.
Hmm.
Can you all still see?
No, you accidentally stopped sharing your screen.
Oh, sorry about that. Sorry. I'll fix it. I'll fix it. Press the wrong thing. Just a
The
moment.
clutter is beautiful. Just so you could see right through it.
Oh my gosh, these pop-ups drive me crazy. Very good. All right, so let's continue scrolling down the page here, see what else. Keep in mind, all these resources are at your fingertips. Some key facts. It's actually the Commonwealth of Bahamas, and it's a parliamentary democracy. I look forward to learning the history. Its capital is Nassau. That's interesting. That little island, even though there's a lot of bigger islands around it. English and Creole. Interesting. So that's like Haiti. It's got Creole as well. The Bahamian dollar, okay, and it's 5,382 square. That's quite a bit. That's not small.
One Bahamian dollar is one US dollar.
Do they use US currency or is Bahamian?
Not sure. That's a great question. I just had to look up the exchange rate because I was interested. So it's 1 to 1.
So 700 islands, that's interesting. But only 30 are inhabited by people. Wow, that sounds interesting, doesn't it? Go find your own uninhabited island. It's New Providence, one of the largest islands, and the location of the capital is home to 70% of the country's population. So New Providence, that must be one of those larger islands. But I think a lot of those tours go to Nassau. Humans have lived on the Bahamas since around the 4th century. So that's fairly recent, isn't it? The 400 AD. We know the Native Americans were on here for almost 20,000 years. So it took them a while to get out to those islands. In the 1600s, the area drew pirates, Blackbeard, Calico Jack. Don't know who he is. Calico Jack. But these bold buccaneers looted cargo ships, sailed along trading routes, and circled the islands. The territory came under British rule in 1718 and will remain under British rule until 1973. So that's pretty recent. I had a friend in Florida when I worked in Tampa, and his dad was an Englishman, and he lived in the Bahamas. A lot of Englishmen live in the Bahamas, even to this day. So it's a popular tourist spot, some neat culture. So colorful. I think you have some videos on the culture, don't you, Alex? I think I saw.
Yep.
So costumes and very colorful place, nice looking flag. We already talked about the flamingos, but they also have turtles, parrots, iguanas, and the largest colony of pink flamingos. Didn't know that. Lots of colorful fish. So that's interesting. And then Destination World. So that's Alex, what is this?
Just another video. So no, just but that's it for they don't have the other geographic article had a little bit more, but that's just some general information about the Bahamas. I'm glad you like the website, Lou.
All right. So then let's get back. And so that's a little bit about the Bahamas. And let's learn a bit more from our history friend here. Here we go, folks.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mr.
Lou, we can't hear it.
This is the correct.
No hearing? Okay, I think let me stop sharing and fix that. Thanks, folks.
Yeah, it was very low. I'm not sure if it has to do with your headset. It was just really low.
Really low? Okay, let me try sharing again. I'm hoping it's not the headset.
Mr.
Any better, folks?
Good, Lou.
This This is the Caribbean, and here is the Bahamas. Now, let's have a little look around, shall we? By the year 800, the Taino people from South America had canoed over into the Bahamas via Cuba or Hispaniola. The Taino were farmers and fishers who, in the Bahamas, were spared the conflict with the island Caribs that the Taino elsewhere were engaged in. So the centuries slipped away, and one day a Taino guy was walking along the beach and saw this. That's right, the Bahamas was the first place in the Americas that Christopher Columbus set foot on. He had set out from Spain to find another way to get to India, and this is why the Caribbean is still also called the West Indies, and Native Americans are called Indians. The Spaniards did not at all try to curry favor with the Taino, but instead used them to work in mines on other islands. Their numbers decreased alarmingly due to disease, but aside from being a handy abduction zone for cheap labor, Spain did not bother settling the Bahamas. It was Britain that was destined to colonize it, which it did in the 1640s, initially as a haven for persecuted Puritans. 2 decades later, New Providence Island was settled, and 2 decades after that, it had to be settled again, as Spain burned the first settlements down in revenge for Britain butting into its monetary machinations. The 1690s to the early 1700s saw the Bahamas, and its capital Nassau especially, become a key haven for the real pirates of the Caribbean. Britain was at war with France and Spain, and they raided Nassau, reducing it to charcoal. Abandoned and lacking a government, Nassau became a kind of capital of the pirate world, home to such infamous buccaneers as Jack Rackham and Blackbeard himself. The Crown of Britain would not tolerate these treasure-hunting, rum-swilling, swashbuckling predators of vessels forever, so they sent in Woodes Rogers. And don't let his innocuous face fool you. He succeeded in defeating the pirates and re-establishing government in the Bahamas. After the American Revolution, loads of loyalists and their slaves migrated to the Bahamas. But after Britain ended slavery, the British Navy would seize slave ships and free the Africans on board. The economy entered a long era of hardship, and the Bahamas began doing whatever it could to make a buck, including blockade running for the Confederates in the U.S. Civil War, supplying liquor during the 1920s Prohibition, and more recently, being a key port for shipping illicit drugs into America, especially cocaine. As governor in the early 1940s, the Duke of Windsor, who had been King Edward VIII before abdicating, made an effort to help ease the country's poverty. But things did not really pick up till the 1960s, when tourism boomed after travel to Cuba was banned for Americans. This, and its being an ideal income tax-free spot for foreign millionaires to hoard their wealth, sped up the development of the Bahamas, which today is classed as very high. The first black leader was Sir Lyndon Pindling, who oversaw his nation's independence in 1973. The economy grew further, and tourism remained strong, as the weather here in the Bahamas is reportedly sublime, except for the occasional cyclone, of course. And a lot of famous people own properties here, such as Bill Gates, Michael Jordan, Shakira, Sean Connery, Johnny Depp, Tiger Woods, John Travolta, and the Bahamian-American actor Sidney Poitier. So that was our super quick look at the Bahamas, and until next time, bye-bye.
Well, there's some interesting facts, folks. Anything jump out at anybody in the video? Anything of particular interest to anybody?
The fact that a lot of Americans are movie stars, I guess, own property over there. They can have property anywhere, but they have it in Bahamas.
Yeah.
That's an interesting fact.
And how involved they were with sending all them illicit drugs over here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was interesting. Anything else? I never heard, you would have thought I would have heard of it, we all would have, that English ships used to set the slaves, was trying to stop those slave ships. I never heard of that before.
No, never heard of that.
Yeah.
And they would set the slaves free. Yeah, that's interesting.
They did,
Yeah,
but
never
they
heard.
also enslaved the people. They did that only to aggravate the British. That's the only reason they did it.
Okay, yeah, because I never heard that.
Mm-hmm.
I had to check that fact.
Yeah.
It's pretty known if you're a historical person. But,
Oh,
you know,
praise God. Oh, okay.
Anything else that jumped out at anybody? Yeah, nothing I could think of, but yeah, pretty interesting. All right, Alex, let's keep rolling forward. Okay, Bahamian culture. Now this is looking pretty good. Let's see what we got here. Here we go.
Welcome to Bahamas Educational Express, social studies lesson video, and there will be 2 parts for this particular topic, Bahamian culture, and this is part 1. Learners will be able to define the terms Dialect, name the customs and traditions of the Bahamas. Explain the procedures of Junkanoo. Rake and scrape. Bahamians are a unique people with a unique culture. Our music is rake and scrape. The music is made with a combination of things that are used as instruments. For example, the saw and the nails, the scrub board, the harmonica, the goat skin drums, and several other things. Our dialect. The way we speak, our dialect, which is a form of broken English. It is also a main part of our culture. Yana, don't point at your finger at the graveyard if you got it gonna rotten off. Example of our dialect are the words, where you going, y'all, them, they, just to name a few. Every Bahamian island has its own way of speaking in dialect, even its own folk tales and beliefs. Let us look at another aspect of our culture, which is the food. Some of the foods that we eat also are strictly Bahamian, and some examples are pea soup and dough, Johnny cake, potato bread, sauces, stewed fish, boiled fish, conch salad, conch fritters, peas and rice with steamed fish, cracked or grilled conch, crab and rice, gully wash, which is gin and coconut water, land crab from Andros Island. Here are some dishes. We have the cracked conch with rice, the conch salad, the lobster. We have the grits and fried fish. On most of the family islands back in the olden days, many of these dishes were cooked outside on the rock oven and on the fire. Junkanoo, a very important part of our culture. On Boxing Day and New Year's Day, we have exciting Junkanoo parades. During these parades, the streets are filled with beautiful, brightly colored costumes made of cardboards, foam, colorful crepe paper, feathers, glitter, and paint. Also, there is thrilling sounds of music that is a combination of cowbells, horns, whistles, and the thump of the goatskin drums. Visitors and Bahamians all dance to the beat of the drums, enjoying the festival. Good Friday. What do we do here? On Good Friday, Bahamians do not usually eat any kind of red meat. The meal for this special religious day is usually fish, which is cooked in a number of different ways. Fish is mostly eaten with hot crossed bun. This has been your lesson on Bahamian Culture, Part 1.
Okay, interesting. Anything that stood out to anybody in that video? I mean, well, let's jump into some. Oh yeah, go ahead. Someone's gonna say something.
Oh no,
Yeah,
I was just gonna say about the conch salad and the conch fritters. First of all, conch is a fish. I had never heard of it before, but the salad is good and the fritters are really good. I just remember eating those, and yeah, so that's good, and yeah, so that's a local dish down there. Those are local dishes.
Nice.
The conch is like a snail.
yeah.
That's a big conch shell, right? That big, huge
Yeah.
The
shell.
big,
Mhm.
oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's kind of, to me, it kind of has a taste between the shrimp and the crab flavor together.
Ooh, that
Mhm.
sounds
Yeah,
good.
it's really good. I like it.
Yeah.
Ooh,
And you can they made a salad at the hotel where we stayed, that was made like you would make a seafood salad, but
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's good.
it looks so fresh too, all that food.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
tasty.
All right, let's
If I could
let's
add one
I
other
know.
thing, Lou,
yeah, of course.
and not to mess with you foodies, I know y'all always know about the food, but if you're familiar with the term Ebonics is what we consider the dialect of what the Bahamians are speaking and what American the enslaved people spoke here and somewhat still speak today, called Ebonics, Ebonics. You might want to Google that one. But also the other thing you might note, you notice that they were allowed in the Bahamas, the enslaved people, to play the goat skin drums. Once they came to America, it was not allowed because there was a way of communicating with the other enslaved Africans. Just some historical stuff for y'all to look at.
That's interesting.
Thank you, Mr.
Yeah, that's.
Aaron.
I wouldn't mind hearing Ebonics. I wonder if we can
Thank
look
you.
that up on YouTube and
You
hear what it
here's
sounds
the
like.
people, we speak that all the time.
Yeah, we do.
It's not a general term, Lou, but yes.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's fire up this video real quick. Here we go.
What it is in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And this thing got started over 200 years ago. All enslaved Bahamians were given 3 days holiday at Christmas. And they took those 3 days holiday, they tried to recreate their festivals from back home in Africa. First by sticking all sorts of leaves and tree branches and feathers over their clothes and bodies. They took the mud from the ground to create their masks, and they used their work tools for their musical instruments. And we who are their children 200 years later, we're doing the same thing. But we're doing it in grand style, eh? We're shutting down the main street of the city as I draw your attention to the screens. And we are putting on this magnificent parade of music, dance, and costuming. And it all gets started on December the 15th with the Kiddies Parade. And our first adult parade, December the 26th. And then we greet every New Year's Day with a Junkanoo Parade. But if you miss any of those 3 parades, have no fear. There's 60 more parades, okay? You have come, and our country is over 110,000 square miles of water. We have 700 islands and 2,400 keys. And in each of those inhabited islands and keys, they have their own Junkanoo parades, okay? And so there you have it, from one step to the next. But this morning, I am going to make you a part of the National Cultural Festival of the Bahamas. I am going to declare each and every one of you to be a true Bahamian Junkanoo. Now, what we're gonna do though, you're gonna have to make your own Junkanoo music.
All right.
Are you ready for that?
Ready? Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna make a little Junkanoo music. So here we are. All of the costumes that you have seen here have been on the parades before. We have the opportunity to pay tribute to nations around the world, a little bit of Egypt and India, the Bahamas. Over here, the Bible, we pay tribute to the tsunami victims of 2004 with the Samurai Warrior. And our national pastime, which is regatta time.
Oh, okay.
In the United States, you celebrate all of your homecomings with huge football competitions. In the Bahamas, we celebrate our homecomings with huge sloop sailing competitions. The Bahamas won its first Olympic gold medal at the Tokyo Games of '64 in sloop sailing.
Really?
50 plus years later, we are still celebrating that gold medal. Okay, so there you have it. And as I move you through, we are going to go to old time Junkanoo.
Oops.
What it is in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Sorry.
And this is
Sorry,
the national
folks.
pastime, which is regatta time.
Oh, okay.
In the United States, you celebrate all of your homecomings with huge football competitions. In the Bahamas, we celebrate our homecomings with huge sloop sailing competitions. The Bahamas won its first Olympic gold medal at the Tokyo Games of '64 in sloop sailing.
Really?
50 plus years later, we are still celebrating that gold medal. Okay, so there you have it. And as I move you through, we are going to go to old time Junkanoo.
Wow. All right, folks. Well,
What it is in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And this thing got started over.
sorry, folks. Can you all hear me?
You're good, Lou.
Yes.
Yeah, it seems.
Video you all.
Let me continue on. Any comments on that video?
He was very proud of his country.
Sort of look like Mardi Gras.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to
Sounds
jump
like
to the
you learned
next.
something, Ms. Ann.
You missed a video, Lou. Go back. You missed a video. Okay, next one.
Next one.
Yeah,
Next
go-
slide.
Yes. Okay, just making sure. All right, thank you so much.
Okay, here we go, folks.
From fried fish and conch fritters to handmade chocolates and guava duff, I'm going to take you on a food tour of Nassau, Bahamas and show you some of the best places to eat on the island.
Hi, I'm Tia, and this is Tia Travels, home of epic sights, delicious bites, and incredible money-saving secrets that will help you plan your next vacation. And speaking of money-saving secrets, I'm going to be giving away a $100 gift card to one of my first 1,000 subscribers. So don't forget to like this video and subscribe for your chance to win. Alright, now let's get started.
First stop, Athena Cafe. This spot is a landmark in downtown Nassau, serving up authentic Greek cuisine since it first opened in the 1990s. This restaurant combines traditional Greek cuisine with local ingredients, creating new dishes like the one that we ate called conch chowder. This dish is very similar to a traditional Greek fish chowder, however, they replaced the fish with a very popular local ingredient called conch. Now you might be wondering, what is a conch? Well, this is a conch. No, it's not the shell. It's actually the little sea snail that lives inside of the shell, and it's the national food of the Bahamas, so you should definitely give it a try when you're here. In fact, let's head over to our next destination and try a more traditional conch dish. About a 5-minute walk away from the cruise port is Nassau's oldest Bahamian restaurant that has been family owned and operated since 1986. Welcome to Bahamian Cooking. This is where we got to try another tasty conch dish called conch fritters. These fritters are a classic appetizer that are made with minced conch, mixed into a batter with peppers, onions, and seasonings, and then deep fried to perfection. We also got to try Bahamian style mac and cheese, rice and peas, steamed chicken, plantains, and coleslaw. If you're looking for a delicious, authentic Bahamian meal near the cruise port, Bahamian Cooking is the place for you. But if you're willing to take a 5 to 10 minute drive away from the cruise port, it'll bring you to this very famous local hotspot. Welcome to the Fish Fry. The Fish Fry is a collection of restaurants selling some of the best food on the island. We visited one of the top rated restaurants in the Fish Fry called Twin Brothers. Can you guess what we ordered? Yes, more conch fritters. These were some of the best conch fritters that we had on the entire island, and even my boyfriend loved them, and he's not a big fan of seafood, so we were really impressed. We also had jerk chicken, rice and peas, and mac and cheese, and we were very satisfied. We're definitely looking forward to coming back to Twin Brothers on our next trip to Nassau. If you're heading to Nassau and you want to take a food tour, check out Viator. You can book the exact tour that we booked by scanning the QR code on the screen or clicking the link in the description below. Alright, now I'm going to take you to another local favorite, which actually became our favorite restaurant on the island. This is Mackenzie's. We kicked off our meal with, yes, you guessed it, more conch. This is a conch salad. It's basically like a ceviche, prepared using fresh conch, onions, peppers, tomato, orange and lime juice, salt and pepper. Very simple ingredients, yet this dish was packed with flavor. It was actually one of the highlights of our meal, but not to be outdone by the fried snapper that we ordered. I mean, just look at that. The snapper is served whole, and it comes with sides like rice and peas and mac and cheese, and we ordered a salad, and this was enough food to feed 2 people. Visiting Mackenzie's is an absolute must while you are in Nassau. And you might actually get to meet the owner. And yes, his name is Mackenzie. Alright, it's time for something sweet. No trip to the Bahamas is complete without rum cake. So we went to Blackbeard's Rum Cake Factory and got a free sample.
Yes, we have any rum cake version?
I don't know. My life starts now. Like I said, my life started when I tasted this rum cake. Rum cake is a staple that you can find all over the Caribbean, and I promise this will be some of the most moist cake you will ever try in your life. So go grab a slice and thank me later. Next, I'm taking you to a familiar fan favorite. Get ready for Ben & Jerry's. Yeah, I was surprised too. There's actually a Ben & Jerry's ice cream shop located in the Marina Village next to the Atlantis Resort on Paradise Island. And yes, they have all of their best-selling flavors like Chunky Monkey and Half Baked. Okay, so there's no debating. Chunky Monkey and Half Baked are their best flavors. Do you agree? Let me know in the comments below. Next, we're headed to a place that's actually walking distance from the fish fry, and they're serving the national dessert of the Bahamas. Can you guess what that dessert is? If you said guava duff, you're right. We went to a place that's actually called the New Duff. When we got back to our hotel room, we tasted duff for the first time, and here's how it went. We're about to try our guava duffs. Well, mine is banana, and then this one up here is guava. So let's do it. That looks pretty good. Not bad. So this actually turned out to be my boyfriend's favorite dessert on the whole island. If you know of a restaurant in New York City that's serving guava duff, please let us know in the comments below. Now speaking of favorite desserts, let's go to a place that served my favorite dessert. This is Grey Cliff Chocolatier. We got to taste handmade chocolates that were created in-house. Here we're tasting 2 different flavors, a white chocolate key lime pie and a dark chocolate raspberry. Now these were super delicious, and if you're a chocolate lover like I am, you have to come to Grey Cliff because this place is heaven. Now let me show you where you can grab a nice drink here in Nassau. First up, Senor Frogs. Now, I didn't actually grab a drink here, but I did walk in and look around, so I thought it was worth mentioning since it's so close to the cruise port. Now, they serve food and drinks, and it also looks like you can get on stage and dance, so if that's your vibe, then this is your place. If you're a nature lover, then you're gonna love this one. This place is about a 10-minute walk from the cruise port, and it's called Town Hotel. Now, they make a mean rum punch, and by mean, I mean it was so strong that 1 sip was enough for me. But the reason why I said you'd love this place if you're a nature lover is because if you come here, you'll get to meet a really cute macaw named Max. Now, Max is like 100 years old, but be careful because he bites. Okay, so I saved the best for last. This was our all-time favorite place to go at the end of a long day and grab a drink. This place is called the Dilly Club. The Dilly Club is located right in the Marina Village next to the Atlantis Resort. The drinks were delicious and we loved the vibe so much that we came back to this place almost every single night that we were here. Now, funny story, I ordered a pina colada and I asked for light rum. Now to me, that meant that I was asking the bartender to give me less rum than usual. But as it turns out, light rum is actually just a different type of rum, and the bartender wasn't putting less rum in my drink, he was just giving me a different type of rum. But you know what? It actually turned out to be delicious and I loved it. So if you go to the Dilly Club and you order a pina colada, make sure you ask them to put light rum in it. You will thank me later. Okay, I want to give a quick honorable mention to the poolside bar at our hotel. The bartenders were very friendly, the drinks were pretty tasty, and not to mention, the drinks were half the price of drinks that we ordered anywhere else. So, if you want to know more about the hotel that we stayed in, it's called the Comfort Suites Paradise Island, and you can check out a video that I made about our stay. The video might be popping up somewhere on the screen, and if not, I'll put a link in the description below.
Now, I want to hear from you. What do you want to eat when you go to Nassau, Bahamas? Or if you've already been there, what was your favorite thing that you've eaten? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget, I'm giving away a $100 gift card to one of my first 1,000 subscribers. So be sure to like this video and subscribe for your chance to win.
Next time on Tia Travels, I'm going to show you some of the best things to do in Nassau, Bahamas, including some of my favorite free activities. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and I'll see you in the next video.
Lou.
Lou, you know, you muted yourself.
Did I mute myself?
No, that was me. Sorry, folks. Sorry about that.
I was just going to say, anybody go to Nassau, be sure that anybody you know goes there. Tell them to bring you some of those chocolates. They are to die for.
Yes, thank you.
Any other thoughts, folks? I was a little taken back, to be honest with you. It looks really touristy with those big cruise ships and all that tourist stuff. It sort of didn't make me feel like I was getting a real Bahamas experience, but I don't know. Maybe it was just
pretty much right, Lou. It's all very touristy.
I felt like I was in Disneyland. And don't leave your wallet in your room either. It's like everything is being charged for. I don't know. It's just that I got that impression from the video.
Very touristy.
Okay, all right. Well, let's jump in the next one. Okay, and then Alex, do we have anything on the activities in the Bahamas? The lady said their next video was on the activities, like things to do.
That's from another creator. So no, these are just some fun facts, and then the next one is some views. But I would try to go through the views one because we're almost out of time and we still have to do trivia.
Welcome to 20 fascinating facts about the Bahamas. From stunning beaches and crystal clear waters to vibrant culture and history, the Bahamas is an archipelago that never ceases to amaze. Get ready to discover some of the most interesting and fun facts about this tropical paradise. The Bahamas is home to the world's largest underwater cave system. The caves are known for their unique geological formations and diverse marine life, making them a popular spot for divers and snorkelers. Some of the most famous underwater caves include the Blue Holes. The swimming pigs of the Exuma Caves are a group of feral pigs that have become a beloved attraction for tourists visiting the Bahamas. These friendly animals love to swim and frolic in the crystal clear waters of the Exumas, and visitors can take boat tours to visit them and even feed them treats. Junkanoo is a colorful festival that has been a part of the Bahamian culture for centuries. The festival features elaborate costumes, music, and dance. Junkanoo is believed to have originated in West Africa and was brought to the Bahamas by slaves who were forced to work on the island's plantations. The Bahamas were originally inhabited by the Lucayan people, who were decimated by Spanish colonizers in the 1500s. In the 1600s, the islands became a haven for pirates like Blackbeard and Calico Jack. Later, in the 1800s, the Bahamas became a British colony until it gained independence in 1973. The Bahamas is home to the world's third largest barrier reef. The Andros Barrier Reef is over 190 miles long and is a popular spot for scuba diving and snorkeling. It's home to an incredibly diverse array of marine life, including sharks, sea turtles, and colorful fish. The Bahamas has some of the clearest water in the world. The islands are surrounded by crystal clear, turquoise water that is incredibly inviting. In fact, the visibility can be up to 200 feet in some areas, making it an ideal spot for swimming, boating, and other water activities. The Bahamas is a popular filming location. The islands have been used as a backdrop for numerous movies and TV shows over the years, including the James Bond film Thunderball, the Pirates of the Caribbean series, and the reality TV show Survivor. The Bahamas is made up of over 700 islands and cays. While many people think of the Bahamas as just one island, it's actually made up of hundreds of islands and cays spread out over 100,000 square miles of ocean. The national dish of the Bahamas is conch salad.
I may need to advance, folks, just so we have time for the trivia. But a lot of good stuff. So those just looks like there's some pretty cool things to do there. Those beaches are gorgeous. And then a 4K aerial view. Do y'all see? Let's jump into this. Folks, that actually looked very beautiful. Any comments on that? I'm just trying to go through a little bit quicker to give time for the trivia. What's that big hotel in there? That was huge. Oh, Mr. Harold, I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No, go right ahead.
Okay, all right. Let me go on to the next one, and here we go. Trivia. All right, Alex, take her away.
Yep. Thank you all so much for coming on. I hope you enjoyed all of the information and fun facts and learned a little bit more about the Bahamas. So as always, we're going to do some trivia, and we'll kind of do the same format from last week where we're going to use an app that you can download on your iPad for our trivia. So please make sure you check out this app and download it if you want further information or if you want to look at some of the other questions. If you would like to answer one of the trivia questions, we'll take 3 persons for each question, and they're multiple choice. So we'll see who what the correct answer is, and at the end, we'll see who wins a prize. If you'd like to answer one trivia question, please raise your hand in Zoom. You can tap more at the top right and then hit raise hand, or you can hit reactions at the bottom and then tap on raise hand. So I want everyone in Zoom to please raise their hand so that way if you would like to answer one of the trivia questions, you will be able to see that. We'll take the first 3 hands for each question. So you can keep trying. The more chances and more answers you get correct, the more you're in the running for a prize today, which is a bracelet or a necklace, right, Lou?
Yes, we could do bracelet or necklace.
Okay, awesome. So let's see. Let me go ahead and pull my screen. We are going to, again, utilize the app in just a second, but there are 20 different chapters and there are questions 1 through 10. So what we're going to do is we are going to first find our 5 chapters. So we're going to spin the wheel 5 times. We're just going to do it all at once this time and figure out each chapter number that we're going to do. So this is chapter number 4. Again, you'll see more in a second. So that's number 4. Let me select another one. And we'll go for the question numbers in just a second. So chapter number 19. Doing this live, so again, you all can see, the chapter numbers and questions, but again, have your Google ready, have your, whatever you like to use to see if you can get the correct answer. Okay, chapter number 15. We have 2 more to go for this. We have chapter number, looks to be number 5. And we have 1 more, okay? 1 more chapter number. Okay, 4, 19, 15, 5, and 20. So those are 5 chapter numbers, okay, for our session. And we're going to figure out what question we are going to answer for each one. So for our question, we have 1 through 10. So 1 second. Yep, here you go. We have question 1 through 10. And we won't remove these because there's 10 questions in each chapter. So essentially the app that we're going to go over has 200 multiple choice questions that you can learn from. So we'll be answering number 3. Yeah, we'll be answering number 9 for the next one. We'll need to remove 9, but I can add that back in. And again, we can do this off camera next time, but just showing you all how the process works. Number 5. We have 2 more. So again, get your thinking caps ready. We have number 10. And we have 1 more to go. And that way we don't have to switch between the screens. So thank you. All right, and number 4. All right, so again, this app is the Culture of the Bahamas exam app. So that way you can also utilize it on your iPad as well. I'm just utilizing it on my device here, but the iPad app or the Apple app is located in the chat. So our first one, we have chapter number 4. So it's ceremonies and celebrations. We'll be answering number 3. So what is a traditional Bahamian coming of age ceremony for a young woman? Is it a quinceañera, a sweet 16, a debutante ball, or a rite of passage? And I'll take the first 3 hands for this question. Okay, we have 2, 1 more. 1 more hand. Again, you're in the running for a prize if you answer this question correctly. 1 more hand. All right, we have 2 hands. We'll have 1 more. Okay, thank you so much. I have our first 3. Mr. Harold, what do you think the answer is?
Rite of passage.
Okay, so D, thank you. Letter choice, please. Appreciate it. Next up is Ms. Doris. What do you say?
I say C.
Okay. All right. And Miss Wilda, what do you say?
A rite of passage.
Okay, right up. So also Miss Wilda. Thank you so much for those three answers. Let's see who's right. So let's go with the majority, letter D. No, it's Miss Doris. You got that one correct. It's a debutante ball. In Bahamian culture, a traditional coming-of-age ceremony for young women is the debutante ball. This formal event typically marks a girl's transition into adulthood, where she is formally introduced to the community as a young woman. The debutante ball often includes formal attire, speeches, dances, and other ceremonial elements. So good job. Thank you. All right, our next one is chapter number 19, and we have question number 9. What traditional healing practice in the Bahamas involves the laying on of hands to channel healing energy and promote relaxation and well-being? Acupuncture, massage therapy, Reiki, or reflexology? Again, I'll take the first 3 hands. So I have 2 hands so far. Thank you. We need 1 more hand. All right, Gracie, thank you. First up, Miss Watson, what do you say? You got to hit unmute in the middle.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. What is your letter choice, ma'am?
Yes. It's number. I said reflection, reflect ocular. What is that?
Yes,
Acupuncture. I say acupuncture.
Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Miss Watson. All right, acupuncture. All right. Miss Wilda, what do you say? Again, don't forget to lower
I was going to say acupuncture too.
Okay, all
Be
right.
reflexology though. I think
All right. And Gracie, what do you say?
See?
All right, see, Reiki. Okay, let's see. So we have acupuncture and we have Gracie. We have said Reiki. So let's see.
I should have looked it up.
Let's go with acupuncture because that is the majority. Let's see what the answer is. No, Gracie, you got it. It's a traditional healing practice in the Bahamas involving the laying on of hands to channel healing energy, promote relaxation, stress reduction, and overall well-being. Gentle touch and energy transfer can facilitate the body's natural healing processes and restore balance to mind, body, and spirit. Okay, good job, Gracie. Our next one is chapter number 15 and question number 5. What traditional Bahamian craft involves the carving and sculpting of wood to create art and functional objects? Pottery, wood carving, basketry, or beadwork? We'll take 3 hands. Okay, we have 1 hand up, 2 more. And sculpting of wood to create art and functional objects. Okay, I got 3. Thank you. Again, you gotta, make sure you're in your first 3. So appreciate it. Geraldine, what do you say? What's your letter choice?
I say B, wood carving.
Okay, all right. Miss Watson, what do you say? What's your letter choice? You gotta hit unmute in the middle, Miss Watson.
Oh, pottery.
Okay, so you're saying A. All right, thank you. Again, don't forget to lower your hand and mute yourself. And then Brenda, what do you say?
I'd say B.
Wood carving. Okay, so we have 2 wood carvings and pottery. So let us see what the answer is. Okay, so we have majority B, wood carving. Let's see if that's it. And those are correct. So good job, Geraldine and Brenda. Good job. It's a traditional Bahamian craft that involves the carving and sculpting of wood to create art and functional objects such as sculptures, figurines, masks, utensils. It's been practiced in the Bahamas for generations and reflects country's rich natural resources and artistic traditions. Wow. 2 more, you all. 2 more to be in the running for a prize. We have 4 so far in the running for a prize. We have chapter number 5, dress and attire. Question number 10. What is a sarong in Bahamian culture?
What is a sarong in Bahamas?
You have to make sure if you're muted or not, you all. What is a sarong in Bahamian culture? A traditional headscarf a style of dress, a type of sash, or a woven belt? Again, what is your answer choice, your letter choice? So I have 3 hands up. Again, please don't forget to mute yourself after you answer so we can all hear. Thank you. We have 3 hands. Brenda, what do you say? What is your letter choice? So what is a sarong in Bahamian culture?
Oh, oh, I didn't. I forgot to lower my hand. But I'll guess it's a headscarf, traditional headscarf.
Thank you so much, Brenda. Appreciate it. Okay, Mr. Harold, what do you say for your answer?
B, a style of dress.
Okay, all right. And then Miss Wilda, what do you say? What do you think the answer is?
Headscarf.
Okay.
Headscarf.
All right, so let's see who answered it correctly. So we have 2 for A, 1 for B. Let's go with a headscarf. Let's see if that's it. No, Mr. Harold, you got this. It's a style of dress. A sarong is a style of dress typically worn by women. It consists of a length of fabric wrapped around the body and tied at the waist to create a skirt-like garment. They're made from cotton, silk, worn as beach cover-ups, attire, or even formal occasions as well. So good job. And last but certainly not least, this is our last question. We have our last chapter, technological innovations. We have question number 4. What technological innovation has revolutionized entertainment in the Bahamas, providing access to a wide range of multimedia content? Was it the television, the radio, was it streaming services, or video games? We may have talked about this in the past. May have. So I have 1 hand up so far. I need 2 more hands. 2 more hands. Okay, I have 3 hands. Thank you. Okay, Miss Watson, what is your answer? What is your letter choice?
Television.
Okay, thank you. All right. Next time, Miss Wilda.
Streaming services. C.
Okay, C, all right. C. And then the last person is Miss Dolores. What do you say?
Internet.
Okay,
B.
all right. Thank you. Just making sure I got that here. And I'll take one more for the last one. Ms. Doris, I got you, okay? What do you think the answer is?
What
What do you think?
answer did you give me? I say C.
Okay, C. All right. So we have 2 for C. Let's see. Doors. Thank you. All right, just making sure we have that hidden here. So we have 2 for C. Let's go with that one. Streaming services. And that is correct. So good job to Miss Wilda and Miss Doris Gudger. Streaming services have revolutionized in the Bahamas and has provided access to a wide range of multimedia content, including movies, TV shows, and podcasts. So because of the Bahamas, we have streaming services. So great job to all those that participated. Lou, I hope you, what did you learn from the trivia? I hope you enjoyed it. All right, I think Lou may have had to step away. That's okay. Just getting our correct answers in our wheel. So again, I hope you enjoyed. Thanks so much. While I get the trivia up, if you liked the trivia, if you learned something new, please raise your hand in Zoom. We'd love to see your thoughts and hear your thoughts. Again, if you enjoyed today's session, if you learned something new, if you enjoyed the trivia just now, please raise your hand in Zoom. 4, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I see we have 8, 9 hands. Love it. Really appreciate it. And let's see who wins our prize for today. So these are our correct answerers, so initials, and we'll see who wins a prize today. Come on. Good money, good money, good money, good money. And it is Miss Doris Fetcher. Congratulations. for winning the prize. You either want
Yeah.
a necklace or a bracelet. Which one would you like?
A bracelet.
Okay, I got you, Miss Doris. Congratulations and thanks so much for your participation today.
And thank you.
No problem. Really appreciate you all coming on. Thank you so much for coming to our travel edition of the Lunch Club. Next week, we'll be doing a new theme because it will be November. So make sure you all check out every Wednesday at 12, a brand new travel edition of our Lunch Club. Thank you so much. I will see you all at 1:30 for Jordan and the Control Center and iPad keyboard. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much. It was so fun. Have a great
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I like
Thank you,
that.
Alex.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, you all.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
You're waiting on my ring.
Thank you.
Thank you.